Hello, hello. Welcome to another Word of Wisdom Wednesday, our Wow Wednesdays, where tell you some wisdom tips from my therapy experiences or just life. And so this is from both. And so since it is the last month of the year, I wanted to just say that this Word of Wisdom Wednesday tip is it's okay to grieve. And I know people say, in theory, we know that, right? Like, of course, can't nobody tell you how to grieve. Everybody grieves different, is what people say, right? Like, you hear those statements. But from personal experience and from working with people who are working on grief, grieving is not easy. And so a lot of times grieving brings up, or every time, if you actually are intentionally grieving, it's bringing up emotions, feelings, memories, thoughts, regrets, all the things that you don't always want to deal with. And so people a lot of times push it off and push it away. But I want to encourage you and let you know that it's okay to grieve. And especially with the end of the year coming up or approaching us, and then we got the holidays. A lot of times people are keeping themselves busy with trying to decorate, or they just are not really feeling the season at all, because what's really happening is grief is taking place. Well, that's it. We don't want to get too deep into that, but if you're recognizing that you are starting to feel very numb to holidays, to birthdays, to celebrations, it may not be because you're getting older. It may be because you need to grieve and your system hasn't released it. And so you are shutting down your ability to feel. And that's not good, because then you shut down your ability to connect with those who are still with you, where they want to feel your love. And I know you want to give them love. As the Jackson said, give love on Christmas Day. Not just Christmas Day, but give love every day. Because again, as you already know, for those who are struggling or dealing with grief right now, is that you don't know when your last day is, right? Nobody knows when their last moment is until that moment shows up. And then by that time, it's too late to really try to give all the love that you really would want to. So while you have the breath in your body, grieve and love, because it's really difficult to intentionally and fully do one if you're not doing the other. And I know you're like, what? That may make sense, Theresa. And I'll surely explain, because I know that our word of wisdom is only supposed to be a few moments. But a lot of times when you're shutting yourself off to one thing, you're shutting yourself off to something else. So if I'm not fully grieving the year, say, 2025 is almost over, and say I'm really like, oh, there's some things that happened this year that I'm grieving, or that I don't want to grieve, or I'm trying to shut down grieving, then I can't really be fully loving myself and getting myself ready for a new season, because I haven't released the old. And so, or even allowed myself to feel and release the emotions that come with the old. And grief is just a realization that love has been present. So if somebody didn't release love to you, then a lot of times you would never grieve, because you wouldn't even know what that felt like. So it's okay to grieve. And it's okay the grief to not always feel good. Sometimes grief is a joyous memory where you're laughing with someone and, about a funny memory, or a really heartfelt memory, or something that really brings a smile to your face. Other times it can be where you are, crying, or tears are being released, or you're frustrated, or you're angry because that loved one or that person or situation, whatever may be being grieved, is no longer current or present with you. Right? So, but in order to be able to fully grieve, you have to be able to embrace all the things that come with grief, almost like a relationship. If I'm going to fully love somebody, I got to take all that comes with them. Right? And so sometimes it's not always the good stuff. Sometimes it's the moments where they are, not in the best mood, or they want to be alone. Right? And so we get those moments we get that truth or realization when it comes to other things. But when it comes to ourselves, a lot of times we lock our own emotions up, and then we just keep ourselves busy. Don't do that this season. It's okay to grieve. And in order to help you, for those who don't know, I have written a grief book or journal. to be able to help you grieve in a creative way. For $14.99, you can get it or give it as a gift to someone. And so you'll see that link right here in the comments as we are coming upon this season of celebration and sometimes realization of those who are no longer with us, or the things that have changed and shifted in our lives that we have been trying to avoid all year, that we're coming to face with. So if you know that's you, and maybe you're struggling and you do need therapy, that's okay. It's okay to need therapy. You can reach out to us anytime. Our website, www.endtimeccs.com, and not end as in it's over, but in as in step inside, INTIMECCS.com. Thank you for joining us for another word of wisdom tip or word of wisdom aha moment. And you can join us next time. Hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday. Be blessed.